What should a student or graduate consider before selecting a course or a program, especially when that candidate is moving from one level of education to the other? Most of the times, a lot of students become anxious, especially those who have just written their junior high school exams and they are going into their second cycle education. Some of these students tend to get confused about the right choices to make when it comes to the selection of their courses or programs. There are a lot of programs that students have to choose from at the SHS level, senior high school level for that matter, and students need to be guided. In this video, I'm going to give some tips or some guidance or advice that's for candidates and also parents so they can be able to make the right decision or choices. We are going to look at several courses, a few of the courses that are being offered in the SHS and what the student has to take into consideration or the graduate needs to consider before he or she makes a choice in terms of the course or program of study. Number one, my advice to parents. That would be my first one. So my advice to parents is that parents shouldn't impose programs or courses on their children. We have experienced such situations before where a lot of parents or some of our parents tell us that everybody in the family has studied medicine, everybody in the family has become a doctor or a security personnel, so we should toe that line. We should offer courses that are in line with that. We need to understand that the students or the candidates have different abilities and they have special qualities or potentials or capabilities. And for that matter, those potentials or capabilities in terms of their academic performance and whatever is related to course selection must be taken into consideration. And parents shouldn't. Please, I'm begging parents, don't impose or force children to offer courses against their will. The children have sat for the exams, they've come out successfully, but they need to look within themselves and say, what I wrote in the exams, do I qualify to choose this course? Can that make me or can that be a foundation for me to rely on and say that I can offer science program or course in the SHS? I can offer general arts program in the SHS. So that is what parents have to look at. You need to sit with a child and then interrogate that child. Find a way to ensure that the child feels free, comes up or out and speaks whatever his or her mind is concerning that particular program or course that he has decided to choose. Sometimes too, they will need the guidance. Some will need the guidance. Why you want them to study technical course, why you want them to study business, you need to explain certain things to them. And the children can also look at those fields and know that, okay, I'm inclined in mathematics, I'm inclined in English language, the reading subjects. I do a lot of calculations and I prefer that to the reading subject. Therefore, you can have a strong decision to take talking about choosing a course that has to do or a course that involves a lot of calculation. Business is there, science is there. Now we need to understand one thing, that's how the computerized system or the placement system works. It also weighs the course and the child's or the candidate's grades, the raw score. We talk about the raw score. So after the results are out, the placements will go on and students will be placed in their various schools based on the raw scores that they've made out of the subjects that they took in the exam. They wrote 9 subjects, and out of the subjects, probably they are going to look at 6 subjects. Out of the 6, they can even look at 3, which the 3 will probably come from the core subject, math, English, integrated science, or social studies. Now, they will pick those ones and also look at some of the electives. At first, they used to consider 2 best of the electives and also add them. But somewhere last year, I think last year, what they did was that they looked at the core subjects and then they picked 3 of them or 4 of them and they added the raw score. Now, that raw score should meet the requirement. Every school the candidate is going to choose has a cutoff raw score for the course that the child or the candidate is going to offer. So we need to look at that. We need to look at that. So these children that we have, we know they will want, all of them will want to be placed in the first choice schools. Now, when you look at the first choice schools, they actually admit a limited number of persons, which means that your performance has to be at that top level. Top level. before you can get admission into those schools. A lot of people want to go there, and you can't have the over 600,000 students making it or getting their first choice. That's why we have the category B schools. So what it means is that even a child can miss the category A school, the first choice, the second choice, and the third choice is what a child will get because the child chose a course, maybe science. The science cutoff point is high. So if you are looking at out of 6 subjects, the person should be scoring the 480s, close to the 500. And that is what the school will look at. So they weigh all those things before the children are being admitted. So that is why some parents, when it comes to the selection of the courses, they sit down with their children and take into consideration that, okay, if I'm selecting the first choice, we will choose science here, but the second choice, I'll choose general arts here. But some people are very sure that it is science they want to offer. They have the foundation, they have the strong science background, and they know that with their science and mathematics, they can offer that course. And then that is not enough. You need to also look at what you did in the exams and say that if I'm choosing schools like Infantipim, schools like Presbyterian Boys at Legon, then schools like Wesley Girls, if a child is going there, Holy Child, these are strong science-based schools. We need to keep that in mind. So both candidates and parents need to look at that these are solid science-based schools and your child needs to perform at that. That's why some of them, even when they get admission to the school, when they go there, they even conduct to see the best out of them, those that have come. They need to conduct entrance exams for some of them. They conduct entrance exams for some of them. So you sit and write, and then they will now select the best and place them in science A, science B, science C, science D. So some of them have a lot of science classes. These are solid science schools. There are schools that, like Swedru Business, you can see that that name business is there. So when it comes to the business field, I'm not saying they don't offer other courses and they don't do well in those courses, but some schools are basically established and they are stronghold. I'm talking about what they do best when it comes to math and science. You can look at those category A schools that I've already mentioned. And when it comes to general arts, most of the students need to access themselves. And I don't know why a lot of students, when you mention courses like home economics, they need to check the electives very well. When you check the electives of those courses, they involve a lot of the science electives, science course electives. So candidates shouldn't relegate any course and say, oh, visual arts, they just go and draw and design or what do all those things. So they tend to look at those courses, technical courses, as courses that are not rich in terms of those courses can actually give you a career, proper career. And these are the engineers that we are producing today. They come out to construct the roads and the bridges for us. So these are solid courses. I know a lot of technical students offer elective math. So if you can do elective math, that should be your target as well. If you know that you can look at the woodwork, the metal works, and other elective courses in that field. Architecture, I think you should go into that. There are schools that are solidly built to teach students technical education. So when you look at TEMA, Technical Institute, Bando Technical Institute, these are solid technical schools. Some have the other SHS courses and they do or offer those courses very well. And those courses are taught very well in those schools because they have the experienced teachers. So that ends there. That's the part that I want you to look at critically. Now, so now let's look at a few of the courses. Some people don't know the composition of some of the courses. The science courses will have what you did, those aspects in the JHS level, at the JHS level that you did under integrated science. This time we are going to have them as separate courses, as electives. So if you are selecting a science course, these days science courses have geography in addition, and then even ICT, ICT. So let's put them aside. Then you have the traditional courses that are the electives. Elective math, physics, biology, then you have your chemistry. So those ones, you should be ready to offer them if you are going into the sciences. Let's come to the general art. When you pick the general art, what we've observed is that most of the SHS schools do well to separate them. So we have the G Arts, the A, and then the B option, the C option. So when you look at the composition of the A option, you are probably going to meet courses like geography, economics, which people normally call the social science. So you also have elective math also over there. Then you can also have something on government. So when you come to the B part, you will have more of the language courses. So a local language is there, French language is there, literature in English. These are all there. Then some of the schools have history. So you can have the traditional three, and you can either choose the economics and replace it with the French, or you can have the French and the economics, or even French and government can be offered. So you can have your four. You should have the four electives. So it's either you are replacing one with the other. When you go to the C part, the CRS is there, the religious studies where they do all those things. You can also have the economics courses. So economics can be there. Then you can have the government. Some people even offer French over there, but it has to be four. So when you select or you choose your school, when you get to the school, they will tell you the composition of those courses and the area that you are going into and your electives that you are going to offer. Now, business, what I know business students do, they will have their costing as their elective. They have accounting as their elective. They can also have elective math. They are, in some schools, they can offer the elective math. A student can opt for the elective math in place of the costing. Then you have your business management traditional course over there. Accounting is traditional course over there. Then economics can also be there. So these are the business courses. But don't forget, that is just four. You have your four electives, what you've known at the JHS or junior high school level. You still have them there, making eight. So you have the eight subjects over there. So your English, math, science, social studies will all be there. But you have the math there as core mathematics, and you have English language, and then you have integrated science, and then the social studies. Some students have asked, is government difficult? Is this course difficult? Which course is much easier that I can offer? And I always say that every course you choose or every subject that you are learning or studying, there's an approach. You need to know. You need to pay attention in class, meet teachers, get the right method to go about those courses. Good. No course is easy, no course is difficult. If you are dormant about it and you are like a desica, you don't want to put any effort, it will become a burden on you and you see it to be difficult. We've had, when we were in school, we had a lot of students running from the art class and coming to join the science, thinking that science was much easier. Perhaps they have met some friends who have told them that this is what is happening. So, but now I think you can't, it's difficult to do that unless maybe there's a vacancy there and they replace it, because the computerized system has everything or data captured, and whatever course you select, that is where they will place you. So if you go and choose a science course and Presbyterian boys, and your grade does not meet the cutoff point, you are likely to get placed in the category B school, which is a second choice school, or it's possible you could miss that considering your raw score. So I'm focusing on the raw score. You know how the exam went, and you need to look at all these things, weigh what you were able to put in the exams, and select the right courses. If you still have questions about the course selections and the programs that you want to, you are confused about them, put your questions in the comment section, and I'll try my best to provide answers based on what I have researched on and what I know. And I think that will also help in the choices that you make. Don't forget to subscribe if this is the first time you're watching my video, and share, and don't make any wrong choice. Thank you for watching. This is still JCL Tutorials. I'll see you again. Bye.